The recruitment product I made prevents mass apply. I made this to help recruiters and applicants without relying on bias. There is a lot more to it than it seems. This innovative product is a game changer to actually make the job market work. And that's why my product sets a new recruitment standard. Let's get into it.
When you say mass apply, what do you really mean? Because it is a known thing, right? That so many people apply to so many jobs. What makes mass apply a bad thing? Isn't that the culture now? We all know and expect it.
Mass apply ruins the job market. There, I said it. Now, what I mean with mass apply and why it is such a bad thing is that this is the outcome of our recruitment culture. The hundreds of often irrelevant applications, one might say that's interest. It sounds nice, doesn't it? Hundreds of applications. It really gives you that adrenaline rush at first.
Definitely.
Mass apply makes it seem like there are a lot of relevant candidates. In reality, though, mass apply means people simply clicked a button. That's it. What makes this bad is that in reality, recruiters are forced to deal with and process all of these resumes. But the other side of this, when time to hire is so slow and there is bias, people will engage more in mass apply, applying more, using more job sites. There is no trust. Applicants don't feel like they are seen, and they aren't, not truly. Recruiters are overworked. This is an ongoing loop for both recruiters and applicants. Applicants, not seen, more applying to increase the chances to get seen. Recruiters, not filling the job quick enough? Let's repost the job across all sites and platforms we can. Let's use bias. Let's spend hours on unnecessary work before interviews can even start. What we have now is not just a mass apply culture. We have an AI culture, a culture with constant assumptions and bias. Talent no longer gets seen. Recruiters are forced to use more bias for decision making.
You mean it is a layered problem?
Yes.
So basically, we're dealing with a problem that is not just affecting one party. It is affecting us all. Naturally, this also affects the job market and all those agencies that are responsible to fill jobs. But what I also see is that this issue is so normalized. What is your take on that, and how did you use that cultural normalization in your hiring solution?
Exactly. This is so normalized and people actually expect it. My take on this normalization is how expected and normal mass apply is. That is so wrong. Mass apply is not a normal outcome of recruitment efforts. What I did is reverse engineered it. That means I did research extensively, also on human behaviour from both sides. So that means recruiters, applicants, and job platforms. And I made a recruiter product that on purpose does not use bias and things like unproven assumptions. Instead, I made a pre-application recruiter product that rebuilds trust between applicant and recruiter first. This is a strategic approach to prevent mass apply from the start. And that means actual prevention. Many recruiters are filtering with ATS to filter out those people they assume things about. But that means they are still receiving all those irrelevant and low intent applications. They are still dealing with mass apply. And then they keep dealing with candidate management, rejection, and so much time being wasted. I flipped that. As a result, this gives recruiters an instant shortlist of high intent candidates without the bias. Applicants get control over their own application. So this is not about applicants optimizing another account to apply with. This is not about automation or bias. This recruiter product makes hiring more humane, straightforward, without ATS filtering, and creates equal opportunity while preventing mass apply. So jobs can actually get filled faster.
Does your product focus more on recruiters or applicants? Thing is that most products either do one or the other. It can be so difficult to have a product that caters to both. I mean, look at all those recruiter products. They either create mass apply or manage it. They either make the experience for candidates seamless, that it creates mass apply and more work for recruiters. What makes your product an actual way to prevent mass apply and not create more of it?
My product focuses on both. You should see this as teamwork between recruiters and applicants. That's the exact mindset my product has embedded. This recruiter product is, yes, made to be used by recruiters first. They must first, otherwise there is nothing to apply to. But from there, it is all about giving applicants a chance. Meanwhile, there is that prevention system in place without the bias. I don't use automation there. It is all about giving candidates a real chance to be seen. Though, if they mess it up and prove they are not to be trusted, their application will not be seen by the recruiter. So this is a pre-application tool to make sure that shortlist recruiters see as an actual list of people to interview. Yes, this is made for recruiters, but in a unique way to get the right applicants seen. Applicants are with my product. not hidden behind ATS or AI robots to befriend first. If they prove themselves, and this is not by assessments, they are seen by the recruiter directly. And this in turn means ATS becomes optional for recruiters, hours of ATS filtering is no longer needed, recruiters can instantly start interviewing. Applicants get the clarity they deserve. Can they expect an interview or not? I really made this to prevent mass apply, to make sure recruiters are not doing hours of work that should not even be part of their day, and to get candidates seen by default.
This sounds like a totally different take on recruitment. What is that vision and the outcomes you made this for? What made you build this?
In all honesty, I've been watching from the sidelines for years. This is truly a case of nobody did it, so I did it. And what made me build this is to make sure that hiring becomes humane and everybody gets truly an equal opportunity in the application process. The direct outcomes I made this for is plain and simple: to fill jobs faster. My vision is that my recruitment product is basically the online version of 1981 recruitment, where people are seen. This is the online handshake between recruiter and applicants, not filtered out by an invisible security guard. I made this because I could not look on any longer how inhumane, slow and unreliable hiring is. So I developed this product to change it without creating more bias, more uncertainty, and more work in return.
You have a totally different take on recruitment. I love that. And you built this yourself. What is that bold take on recruitment that many platforms have that you feel is wrong?
AI is not going to fix this. It actually makes recruitment and mass apply worse. Same goes for ATS.
Interesting. What is your take on that?
This is a cultural problem. It is not as simple as let's filter out those people. That in itself is actually the inhumane part. I realize it makes recruitment easier to focus on the right ones, but it creates more mass apply. Now, with AI and ATS, we have the ongoing problem of bias and assumptions. Yes, they help manage mass apply, but they also create the mass apply problem because it makes mass apply seem so normalized and part of recruitment. ATS is a chaos management tool. It exists because mass apply wasn't prevented. AI is a way to make sense of the data. ATS and AI turn bias and assumptions into a recruitment strategy. I realize the benefits, but the bigger picture here is mass apply is not normal, and these tools keep the loop going. More mass apply, more bias, less trust. And again, more mass apply, more job reposts, longer time to hire, higher cost to hire. So my take remains, mass apply prevention beats managing mass apply.
This is a cultural shift to you by the sounds of it.
Exactly. This is a required cultural shift for the recruitment industry, for recruiters, applicants, and the platforms that list the jobs.
I want to get into this more. When job platforms use your product, what can recruiters and applicants expect? What is to you, as you see it, the new recruitment experience for them?
Let's start with the recruiters. They generally are expected to fill the job fast, but are used to a longer time to hire. Now, by making sure that only high-intent applicants make it through, we do more than prevent mass apply. We actually give them an instant shortlist of highly relevant candidates, and that's before they even use ATS.
Again, ATS is now optional. I don't have ATS or AI in the product. This means recruiters interview faster. They update candidates faster. I will say the first experience for recruiters is that they see they can actually trust the hiring process again without using bias. They can trust applicants again. And because it is so much more straightforward than easy apply, applicants now see and experience they are seen. It is now not solely about their resume. This is about human connection. So the whole experience changes from checking how people score according to AI or ATS to now becoming a very clear hiring process where the right ones stand out instantly. Now it is a humane recruitment process where bias and assumptions don't even play a role like they do in regular recruiter products. As for the timeline, I made this so recruiters can realistically, and this depends on the number of relevant candidates that made it through, interview within 48 hours. For applicants, this means within 1 week they know they are either rejected or they have had their first interview. So to summarize this experience I have made in my product, this is all about a reliable recruitment process that moves fast and gets jobs filled. This is not made to be another product to manage or another dashboard to track. This is all about recruitment results so jobs are filled instead of constantly reposted.
That must also mean that you basically changed the game for job platforms. Because they have so many products, it is a lot of bias and assumptions. How will job platforms change with your product?
This is the exact product no platform has, but I know this is a game changer for recruitment. I basically built a product that on its own acts as a job platform. That's how simple it is and impactful. Now, when job platforms make my product part of their product lineup, I see it going like this. First off, job platforms get rid of the label they have earned through the years, no longer being called a spam platform.
That's a big one.
Let's start with the recruiters. They generally are expected to fill the job fast, but are used to a longer time to hire. Now, by making sure that only high-intent applicants make it through, we do more than prevent mass apply. We actually give them an instant shortlist of highly relevant candidates, and that's before they even use ATS.
Again, ATS is now optional. I don't have ATS or AI in the product. This means recruiters interview faster. They update candidates faster. I will say the first experience for recruiters is that they see they can actually trust the hiring process again without using bias. They can trust applicants again. And because it is so much more straightforward than easy apply, applicants now see and experience they are seen. It is now not solely about their resume. This is about human connection. So the whole experience changes from checking how people score according to AI or ATS to now becoming a very clear hiring process where the right ones stand out instantly. Now it is a humane recruitment process where bias and assumptions don't even play a role like they do in regular recruiter products. As for the timeline, I made this so recruiters can realistically, and this depends on the number of relevant candidates that made it through, interview within 48 hours. For applicants, this means within 1 week they know they are either rejected or they have had their first interview. So to summarize this experience I have made in my product, this is all about a reliable recruitment process that moves fast and gets jobs filled. This is not made to be another product to manage or another dashboard to track. This is all about recruitment results so jobs are filled instead of constantly reposted.
That must also mean that you basically change the game for job platforms. Because they have so many products, it is a lot of bias and assumptions. How will job platforms change with your product?
This is the exact product no platform has, but I know this is a game changer for recruitment. I basically built a product that on its own acts as a job platform. That's how simple it is and impactful. Now, when job platforms make my product part of their product lineup, I see it going like this. First off, job platforms get rid of the label they have earned through the years, no longer being called a spam platform.
That's a big one.
This means by preventing mass apply and making recruitment so much more straightforward and humane, they make their platforms credible again, trustworthy again. The big picture here is that this is a cultural shift for the recruitment industry. They show they're no longer ignoring the problem and being proactive by working with me. The second thing is that they turn their invisible lost revenue into measurable revenue. By that, jobs don't need to get reposted constantly. Recruiters don't have to try a gazillion different tools, and applicants don't have to play a guessing game by applying around the clock. There's a lot of unseen revenue. It gets lost before recruiters and companies even make it to the checkout. This is a reverse-engineered process to get them more trust, more revenue, and put them on the map as industry leaders of recruitment. To keep it clear for you, job platforms change by making it ridiculously doable to fill jobs fast. They get trusted more. The distrust between recruiters and applicants stop, the candidate experience improves. Recruiters can rely on the hiring process from the start, the recruitment culture improves, and we see how this trust results in a stronger job market. It means a lower cost to hire for their customers, a faster time to hire. This is for job platforms about how they not only prevent mass apply for a better experience, but also strengthen their USP in a way they've ignored for so long. And I keep seeing, all of them keep ignoring this massive opportunity that's right in front of them.
That's likely what makes it a challenge. It starts with that one job platform that leads the future of recruitment with you.
Precisely. I see constantly, and by how many gatekeepers there is not really one job platform, it seems, that truly wants to own the future of recruitment. This is not just a recruiter product. It sets the standard for a reliable hiring process. This is a new recruitment standard.
And it is needed. This won't fix itself. Like you said, the answer is not more AI and ATS. That's for the step after your product has run.
Exactly. This is about the pre-application step, not what comes after.
So you are not really changing how recruiters work, is that correct?
Exactly. Recruiters don't need to do more. My product prevents they waste more time. This is about a choice. Do we want a reliable hiring process that allows recruiters to interview faster, or do we let bias decide if someone is worthy enough to be seen? Do we keep hiring intentionally slow with bias, or do we choose to work together to fill jobs faster without making assumptions? Do we want reliable job platforms or only collect likes and resumes?
Where can decision makers of hiring platforms go to understand your vision more, your product, and working with you?
They can go straight to the link in my bio. It takes them directly to my Notion file, where I explain it clearly: my vision, my product, and who I work with.
Perfect. Congratulations on this new recruitment standard.